Well, from that, we now want to get into matters to do with technology, being a Tuesday, where every Tuesday we do focus on the latest trends that are actually happening in the world of technology. And joining me this afternoon is none other than Sam Odhiambo, the Assistant Sales Manager at Samsung East Africa. Thank you for joining us.
Pleasure. Good to have me here.
Well, Sam, of course, we know Samsung is one of the big companies in Africa that has been trying to make inroads into different countries using their different products, be it the phones, be it the TV, be it the fridge. I mean, it's a host of electronics. So from where you sit, what is the latest from Samsung in terms of the TV scenario, really?
As you rightly put it, Samsung is actually the biggest player in this continent in terms of consumer electronics and internet mobile business. These are mobile phones. In TV per se, currently, we've not only stretched our dominance in the TV category globally to the 10-year mark by producing a wide range of products that cuts across. And to basically prove that point, Samsung early this year at the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas launched a SUHD TV. This is basically a super ultra high definition television that has the capacity to act not just as your viewing device, but basically as a controller of your smart home in what we are calling the Internet of Things.
Interesting.
Yes.
Speaking about the Internet of Things, just take us through what this means for consumer goods and what are the changing tastes we are seeing in the industry.
Internet of Things, as commonly now known, IoT, is basically a concept that allows any device that has an on and off switch and ability to connect to the internet to basically communicate with each other.
Yeah.
Samsung has developed a range of devices, starting with our SUHD TV, which will be available later on this half, which allows you to control basically over 200 devices. What this means is you can use your TV as a controller, as your smart controller of your home, what you are calling the smart home. What this does basically is if, for example, you're working late in the office, you have the ability to let your TV communicate to you through your mobile device, whether you're running low on groceries, for example.
Wow.
So you'll have that information given. When you're home, for example, again, the TV is able to let you know, other than physically getting up and peeping through the window, you can actually tell who is that is trying to get in, who is trying to gain access. And that communication basically happens from your TV to any other device that you have at home which has internet capability.
It's quite interesting because I was just having some interesting videos online about the Internet of Things, where we are now even seeing from your phone you can be able to operate your TV, be it changing the channels, so long as it's Samsung to Samsung. Talk to us about compatibility, because as you know, the market is so wide. We are having so many products being offered, but there's been that issue of compatibility for people who perhaps have an iPhone but still own a Samsung TV. What is Samsung doing to address such issues?
If there's a concept that Samsung has over the past few years really driven across, including this market, is convergence. We want our devices to be able to communicate to each other. Samsung has developed a remote, which we are calling a smart control, that has the capacity to not just control your TV. You're able to use that device to control any other device that is within the stipulated distance to control them. And about compatibility, as much as Samsung has a wide range of devices that can actually talk to each other, be it the SUHD TV, be it the Samsung smartphone, the Galaxy series, the refrigerators, we are open to the fact that you can still use these to communicate with other devices that have the IoT hub inbuilt into them. So that bit, I think, has been properly addressed by Samsung. So there shouldn't be worry, as much as we'll definitely encourage people to go and acquire as many Samsung devices as possible, but you shouldn't be worried. As long as you have an IoT inbuilt technology device, you should be able to communicate.
Okay. Talk to us about, we've seen computing power being incorporated in designs of televisions.
Yes.
And right now we're talking about smart TVs.
Yes.
And looking at the future, what else should we expect? Because, I mean, things are really catching up pretty fast.
Yes. You realize Samsung was actually the first in the industry to develop a smart hub application on TVs way back in 2010. So what this happens is that we recognize the fact that you need not just to rely on your laptop or the conventional devices that you use for your computing services, but you can gain those services from your TV. You can gain those services from your tablets. You can gain those services from other consumer devices. And Samsung has invested heavily in this. And 2016 onwards, you'll be able to have smart refrigerators, smartphones, smart washing machines, smart TVs that can communicate with each other and by extension be able to offer the basic computing services that somebody desires.
Interesting. Yes. But as these innovations continue to happen, is the consumer likely to benefit from a drop in the prices?
Yes, yes. You realize when you're talking of smart, we are aware of the skyrocketing uptake of mobile devices, for example, and smartphones in this case. We are aware of the decrease in broadband internet connectivities, all right? And with this often and rapid developments in technology, in connectivity, you definitely foresee a situation where the players, and Samsung in this case, is going to ensure that the advantages that accrue from the ability to make it better, make it faster, make it connected, is passed down to the consumers. So we expect the consumers to benefit in terms of paying less compared to what we've been used to over the past few years.
Okay.
Yes.
And before we wrap up this conversation, of course, there's also been that issue of counterfeit goods.
Yes.
How hard hit have Samsung been hit, actually?
Just as every other player in the industry, we've been affected. We have what we refer to parallel imports. We've got two scenarios here. One is the parallel import. These are actually genuine Samsung products. They are not brought in through the legal channels, through our authorized partners and distributors, but they are sold here. So we are trying to discourage that by closely working with the authorities, the KRA, the counterfeit agencies, and the security agencies to basically bring this to a stop. Then there's also the counterfeit goods, which many people will call fake. We haven't had much of that in the consumer electronics, and we don't expect, because of the level of research and development that goes into developing these devices. Okay. We don't expect every other person out there to probably develop an SUHD TV. It's not going to be easy. And if it ever happens, then the consumers are going to pick it out very fast. In our other devices, like the mobile phones and the tablets, we've had a bit of issue there again. Ability to develop fake products, to develop counterfeit smartphones and tablets. But there are things that we are, I think, adequately dealing with currently in collaboration with the agencies, as I've mentioned. The government has a proper capacity to basically support us, and we are developing our case and presenting it to them for the necessary support.
Just one quick question, Sam. How much do you lose out of counterfeit?
I would say it's negligible, but we don't want to basically underrate it because it has the potential to grow. It's a very small percentage, but we are hard at work to basically eliminate it completely.
Okay.
Yes.
Many thanks. There I've been speaking to Sam Odhiambo, who is the Assistant Sales Manager at Samsung East Africa.